But finally, the important thing is we are once again here with Frozen versus Chemboy. A happy 5-dan versus a 2-dan game. Set at 2 stones, not 3, because 3 would make absolutely no sense. And they have apparently agreed to pick off more or less right where they left off, with the avalanche again. So right away, Chemboy is taking a very interesting Joseki, and it's even more interesting that he's insisting on this. He even said before the regames that I'll restart if there's an avalanche. So it kind of tells me that he had this idea in mind. He wanted to play this particular Joseki, and he's picking a very unusual variation. He's not picking something simple like I'm going to back off and just get influence here and continue in a nice peaceful manner. We're not even going to go over the normal we're not even going to go over the somewhat normal continuations. He's going over something very, very unusual where, yeah, he's not fighting for the corner. He just wants influence, but apparently he wants more influence than he gets from this variation. So kind of interesting, kind of interesting. Typically not something that you see from a handicap game. You normally wouldn't want to pick a variation where there's a fight's going to immediately break out, considering the person that is giving you the handicap should be able to outfight you. So this is a very interesting style from Chemboy. I'm curious to see what he intends to do with it. Now, this may in fact be a Joseki. I do not know. I have never actually seen this particular variation before. I do not study large avalanche variations. This cut point here at J17, though, is worrying me greatly. It seems that white is going to get a lot of thickness from this, potentially. I mean, it seems that if he wanted to, white could have actually gone back here and threatened to cut this. Or even now, he can actually get more of a wall in case he wants to do that. If he's just going after the influence, not caring about, you know, what he could do locally, in order to just attack this group of stones, of blacks. Now this is, I think, probably more along the line of what Frozen wants to do, because he's usually aggressive and wants to kill a large group of stones. He's young, we can kind of forgive him for that. Not sure that's what he intends, though. I imagine he wants to fight everything. Whenever I view one of Frozen's games, it's because he wants to kill everything. Alright, so we are seeing him get a wall here. I guess he's going to try to use this to pincer. Yes, leaves. It is very hard to do to kill everything. But, you know, just because it's hard to do doesn't mean we're not going to try to do it. I mean, we are playing Go after all. It, by its very nature, is very hard to do. So alright, we do have an attack here. The question is Chemboy going to immediately freak and try and do some sort of split and get out of here? Or is he going to go and do something a bit more aggressive and try and make certain that this new little stone can't get any kind of a base by attacking? Or trying to attack? How do you move on a 5th line? That's weird. I mean, I guess we can just come out, because how is this thing going to settle? Is it going to settle here? That's the strangest relationship I've ever seen between these two stones. How do you make them work together? Alright. Chemboy's protecting himself first. Forcing move. Nice. But will he come out or will he pincer first now is the question. Because he's definitely not going to play away. That would be weird. That goes against certain proverbs, like playing away when your house is on fire. Definitely would not want to do that. This would be a greedy man's move. It's like, I don't care what's going on here, there's an open corner, there's profit there. I'm gonna forget everything that's weak on the board and just go somewhere else instead. Splitting does seem fine. Like I mentioned, that relationship, if he actually extended, seems so bizarre. Because you can easily invade this still. I mean, we all know that we can go under stones, even if they're on the 4th line, but under the 5th line? Yeah, definitely can slide under 5th line. But alright, he's choosing to attach in order to do this. Idea here being by leaning on the top, our stones here are going to get stronger, which we can use to punish this. So already we see this as kind of developing into a little bit of a even game. Well, even in the sense that Chemboy is on equal footing in this particular fight. He doesn't seem to be making any missteps yet that are allowing White to get in the game and overcome those 2 handicap stones. So 3? Ooh, I shudder to think how this board would look if if Black still had this cornerstone. That seems like it would just be cruel. But alright, let's see, what can White do? White could fix his group with just an easy shape move. I imagine he wants something a little bit more severe, but the Hane is just going to turn around and hurt him. We could go and get a base with our group, but then our top stones are going to be under severe attack. Ay, 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 ay. That could be a problem. He's gonna create cut points. Okay. Not gonna back off. Gonna try to fight through this. But I think Black should be relatively satisfied, even if he has to give up a single stone at G14. If he can just get the influence he wants to use on the left-hand side, he's going to be doing fairly well. Because White's opening stones then, the upper left-hand group, essentially all it did at that point was just live in the corner. The middle group of Whites would just be living in the center, while Black's making territory on top and influence on the left. That's pretty good. You can call that well enough. That said, I don't think Black's actually going to give it up. If he actually gets a turret, I imagine he's going to pull out and keep everything separated and turn this into a really huge fight. Actually, I don't know. I can't really predict what Chemboy's going to do. I don't really know his playstyle anymore. I don't know how aggressive he is. So it's really hard to say. Really hard to say. But he has to go after it. White has no choice. He's got to show interest in G14. He needs shape for his middle group. I don't think surrounding is going to be healthy. I don't think something like this, for example, is going to be seen, because that just gets us killed up here immediately. So it's a good reason not to see it. And even if it did work, because the stone is still so high, we know that we can still settle here. So even if this didn't kill, and we could, I don't know, fix this somehow, we'd still have this instance where we've got 2 weak groups for White. So even if this didn't kill, it's still not very good. Oh, he's going to try and attack everything. This is kind of why I dislike handicap games everyone. Well, not every once in a while, I'm going to have to say always. You do start off behind, and you have to take these risks in order to try to catch up. I mean, granted, 2 stones, you can probably play a little bit more normally and just wait for your opponent to make a mistake. You do have that option. But when there's so many stones on the board, you get this feeling like you have to kill something immediately. Otherwise, how are you ever going to win? So now we have a bet. We have a bet here that black cannot successfully profit against these stones. But I think he can. Black's not being distracted, he's going right after the shape. I mean, what's white gonna do? Extent? Yeah, see? The cuts don't matter. I mean, we can't make these cut points work. We can't make... Yeah, black should be fine here. Chose to actually protect them. A little bit surprised at that. I thought he would actually continue to extend. I mean, if he gets a wall here, he'd be fine. But he's playing safe, so that's good. But we still have a problem. Yeah, we can't really go back and settle yet, as I was about to mention. Because if we do, it just allows black to be surrounded, or white to be surrounded by black, rather. So we couldn't do that. And they still can't play elsewhere. White really wants to settle this group, but he really, really can't as long as his group's up on top's in trouble. What? Chemboy mentioned in the game that he's playing slowly, but he's not. Chemboy's playing a style that's trying to leave very little aji behind. Very good to do in normal games. Better to do in games where your opponent is giving you handicap, when he's supposed to be able to outread and outfight you. Do not want to leave all that aji behind, because they can read it and find out how to use it against you. You, on the other hand, cannot. Or at least you shouldn't be able to. If you can read every bit of aji your opponent can use against you, chances are he might not supposed to be able to give you handicap. Oh, risky. White is saying, I do not care if you can attack me. I'm giving you stones for a reason. That's not going to be a problem. But I have a feeling that Chemboy's going to be able to make it his problem. But what is he going to do? He backed off. He didn't pincer because he's not jealous of anything that's going on right now. He just saw this position and he said to himself, alright, you've got 2 weak groups. Save one of them. I don't care. I can count to 2, easy as you can. And again, white takes the corner, but I still don't like. Ooh, I still don't like that even more. They're getting bogged down in corners. I really hate that kind of style, where you like play one corner and then go away, and then you play another corner, and then you play another corner, and then you play another corner, and then go into whatever. I mean, if white gets a really good result here, and is able to make another move on this group, that's going to be so good for white. If white actually loses his chance, or if black loses his chance to really profit from attacking this group, that'll be really, really horrible. And I think black should have done it here. It's like, you ignore me when you're not alive? Have you lost your mind? Yeah, I want to say Chemboy doesn't have the killer instinct too, but here they are playing the most evil Joseki known to man. I guess I shouldn't have been surprised. Shouldn't have been surprised. Both players love complicated Joseki. Both players love studying complicated Joseki. So it's no surprise that we're seeing both of them break out in the same frackin' game. But alright, let's see how White's gonna do this. If White somehow... Yeah, but Chemboy likes the Taisha, so that's not really... That's not really any kind of deal. Now, idly wondering here if White can actually get any kind of influence from this. Because like I mentioned, if he can use this to his benefit, that middle group might turn on Black. Because this group isn't completely alive yet, right? We do still have... This is still unsettled. So it stands to reason we could still profit from here for White in the middle. Has to be careful. And we're seeing White develop. He's getting that influence. Black will profit on the side again, but if White gets a lot of influence from this, Black's gonna regret it. What is White gonna do? Okay, keep extending. White's gonna do magic? You have much faith in the 5 Dan there, Kalen. But you have to keep in mind, Frozensoul hasn't been playing a lot of Go lately, so his magic is very rusty. He's been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! He is not prepared for this. Same with Chem. Yeah, I heard that. Chemboy's been playing... What was it? Yeah, Diablo 3. So, I guess this game determines which game is better for your Go, Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Diablo 3. So when you don't feel like playing a game, you can still, not playing a game of Go anyway, you can still play something that will help your Go. And that's what they're deciding. They're deciding which of those 2 games it will be. Which one do you think it's going to be? Oh, you think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is going to be better for your Go? Okay. I'm really curious to see what Frozen's got planned in the middle. Because make no mistake, it's all coming down to that center. I mean, White is giving up quite a bit of points. He's got the upper left. That's not worth very much. The bottom is getting quite surrounded. And we've got points going to Black on the top and the right-hand sides. Plus, there's still a corner in the bottom left that's easily Black's unless we invade the 3-3 and completely destroy ourselves on the outside as a result. And there's the bottom, so it's all focused on that middle. Oh, this kind of game makes me nervous. It's like, oh my god, I have to profit here. If I don't, none of my moves have made sense. I wonder as well, Leaves. I'm very curious. Yes, one will... Yeah, this will end epically, I think. Can White attack something with all the thickness? He can kind of attack the center. He can he can lean on it because it's not completely settled just yet, right? This area here is still open. We can still poke at eye shapes. I'm thinking he's going to try to lean on it to build. Well, okay, no, leaning on it to build is not in Frozen's vocabulary. He's going to try to kill it somehow, I just don't know how yet. I mean, ideally, what would have been best, I think, is if he didn't actually go into the avalanche. If he just used his stone to try to profit or build something large on the right-hand side, that he would have known his opponent couldn't invade deeply, because he already had the one group to look after. But this is all kind of aimed at that middle. I don't know how that's going to work out. Frozensoul is the one who plays Yu-Gi-Oh! Chemboy plays Diablo 3. Yu-Gi-Oh's better. Yeah, we all have our various opinions on Diablo 3. I was excited for it when it first came out. But, eh. A little bit of a letdown. My complete weird opinion of it is, felt like it was made for a console, and when I heard they actually ported it to a console, I couldn't help but laugh. Because it kind of, at that point, felt like the PC version was just beta testing for the console version, and, Alright, we see White developing more of that influence. No, I was talking about Diablo 3. Alright, corners. What are you going to do, Chemboy? I'm not even fully aware of all of the Taisha variations. I don't know if this... Yeah. I want to say R2 is vital. I actually haven't studied the Taisha in forever. I never play it in my games. At one point I decided I was going to, because I decided I didn't really like backing off from it. But then... yeah, I kind of abandoned that idea. It's like, you know what? I really don't like this variation. White's going aggressive. What about this looks beautiful to you there, Kaylin? Is there a position you like? Everything. Who do you prefer, white or black, in this game? And for anyone actually watching the video now or later, I apologize. I forgot to set my font to 16 point like I usually do when I'm recording. Globally preferring black. I'm actually slowly leaning towards white. White's got a lot of potential to make stuff happen. Didn't think white wouldn't be connecting at L3. If he didn't connect at L3, wouldn't his corner be like really in trouble? Because one thing that I think that black would, or that white would love to see right now, I think white would love to see this turn into a weak group. That way he has two of them, so we know that this isn't going to happen. And if black decides to do this instead, well, this is still an issue. We're just getting more influence off of here. Plus at this point we could, you know, go back and double Hane this and be really, really happy. So yeah, definitely can't connect that yet. Or definitely don't need to connect that, I should say. Well, it didn't a move ago anyway. But now I guess he's going to connect the outside. I mean, now he's got to, right? Because he doesn't have that cool double Hane anymore. White or black took that away. I mean, we could play in the corner and force this, but do we really have to do that? I mean, what does that give us? We don't really know anymore. So, okay, or we can go and invade. That works too. Understandable though. I mean, this is handicap. If we played Gote here, there are still issues. Question is, what does white think he's going to do here? I mean, if black backs and takes his corner, we can't just do that. I mean, you're going to accidentally force black to kill you if you try and actually take a base here. It's like, well, I wasn't going to attack this just yet, but since you're giving me these free moves in the middle, I guess I will. I guess we can play a move like this and see what that does. Actually, no, I am not killing the tree. It's impossible to kill the tree when you're cloning the game, because it always bumps your moves to the variation. See? Tree's fine. So I can try and butcher this thing as much as I want, and it's not gonna matter. Alright, using it just for Aji. White's finally coming out. Black is ignoring for the moment, but will he ignore after this sequence in the corner? Or is black gonna come out as well? Yeah, KGS glitches and my variation start showing up on their board. That'd be kind of funny. Now the real question is, would I be able to resist the urge to start making smiley faces in the middle of their board, or would we call for help from admins? I don't know. Alright, White's gonna go back and try and live in his corner. Black's got nothing to fear. He's got elf through whenever he wants. Yep, taking it now. Difficult game for White. Yeah, we don't know where his territory's coming from yet. We see the lower right is worth about half a dozen no points, and the upper left is not worth very much more. These attacks just aren't drawing the blood that we need. I don't know, guys. I think Diablo 3 is going to be the game that you play to get better at Go when you don't want to play Go. Yep, here it goes. This is what we were waiting for. The attack on white. Have to. It's all been building up to this. His choice of variation in the bottom right was because he wanted to attack the middle. But, how do you attack this? I don't know. You're saying it's a trap card, but I'm not really seeing the danger here. Not yet, anyway. Bit of an unusual move there by white. I mean, it's forcing, but this is more of a forcing saying I don't know what I can do right now. So just respond to me. Okay, he's not going to connect his stones because he knows that black's going to live. So maybe we can profit in the middle, and if we can force black to take these stones, we'll be happy. Because then we can keep doing something else and get those happy little points that way. Alright, alright. Well, the real question is this Sente for black or not? He can capture and he can still come out. So do we really need to respond here for black? I think I like responding here, just to make certain I'm not completely surrounded. I think if white completely surrounds us, it's exactly what he's looking for. So I think black will probably come out at least once. At least once. Alright. Interesting, not going to jump out. Takes his profit, but it does let white seal him up later. So depending on how many forcing moves white can find, this might be really, really good. But even if white does get a big corner, how much is that right side worth? Because this stone, happily enough, at S16, not alive yet. Not alive yet. Oh, hello. I guess you're trying to make that alive yet. Okay. So can't profit while we can still take that. Got it. Yes, Mike 2096. Now that K14 is alive, can't he attack the right? K14 is alive. K14? K14. Ah, yes, that. True, true. I forgot about that. Yeah, the reason why we couldn't do this originally is because, you know, cap and simply kill all the things. But now that all the things are alive, we can do this. But the problem is, yeah, see, we're forcing our opponent into the middle where we could have gotten stuff. I think Frozen's just trying to attack again. I think he's looking at this now and he's like, you know what, I can kill this guy. I'm not going to let him live there. But a move like this is Sente. It forces white to not die in the corner because the throw-in is lethal. So not as open as it looks like. But yeah, definitely going after the last big fish in the sea, so to speak. If black manages to live here, white's got nothing. I don't... If... depending on how he lives... Depending on how he lives, I think white might just resign. I'm surprised that wasn't here. That was Sente. Oh, maybe that's just taking away Aji. Yeah, Chem is good at Chiseki, that's true. Frozen's got a chance, but he's got to be very careful. These are not immortal stones that we're dealing with here. I mean, this has a really obvious shape point, and it can be easily disconnected. He can sacrifice M4, no? M4, what is M4? He's not going to sacrifice the stones, no way. Oh, hello. Chemboy's trying to poke at them shapes. But what is he going to sacrifice for? You're like telling him to sacrifice, but for what? Well, it's not a question of him saving it, Nazgoth. It's a question of what is he getting by saving himself. I mean, if this group lives of blacks, what do we do then? Oh, you were kidding and sacrificing. Okay, I see. I mean, keep in mind, most of White's current territory is second line, which is not really synonymous with what we consider to be territory. Let's see, what is White gonna do? He can cut. If he fixes, and then we just die. No, we could do that, I guess. I mean, Black wants him to play here, so he can go and harass this all over the place, because this has not got really good shapes. Oh, hello. You can't cut that. What are you doing? I don't think, this is an yeah. Black's alive. Black is completely alive now. So the question then is, how are we gonna... I'm still maintaining it. I think that White's gonna probably resign soon. The problem is, it's so easy to get the eye on the other side, and this group is in trouble. Yeah. See, he's trying to hold on to everything. Yeah, Frozen just resigned the game. Ouch. Tua is so aggressive. He played such an aggressive game. This, however, was... yeah. I don't like the attachment. Yeah, doing it with the game right now, too. Frozen's even pointing out that this probably would have been better in terms of trying to kill. But again, this is Sente, right? Because if we go and do, you know, anything else, this just kills us. So... even if Frozen had backed off here, like apparently he wanted to do, I still think he's going to live really, really easily here. Because this is is going to be maintained in Sente. So it's a question of how do you get your other? Definitely more of a chance this way, though. But I feel that there's too much Aji between this large knight and that large knight. Yeah, it's over. Frozen resigned. Handicap, very, very difficult to actually give to another player, especially when you are out of practice. To be fair, he made it a very interesting game. I mean, we could see what his goal was right from the very beginning, that it was all kind of going down to that middle group. But the Avalanche and the Taisha in the same one in an effort to kill off the center. That seems way overcomplicated. Especially when you're picking Joseki that take up like a fourth of the board like this one did. I mean, usually when you're playing handicap, you would prefer your opponent to be in a lot of little groups. So playing a Joseki that's a fourth is kind of weird. Anyway, definitely an interesting game though. Definitely an interesting game. But I guess that means that Chemboy gets to continue on in this tournament. I guess Frozen's completely out then? Or is there like a loser's bracket or anything like that? This is just elimination, right? Double elimination. Alright. Alright then. Galen. Well, you good luck there. Good luck there. Good luck there. Maybe you can let's see. Maybe you can play the Avalanche against him if you have to face him, and just aim for this variation. Get him that weak group that we see here. Maybe he'll forget that this wasn't a very good idea for him. So good luck with that, Kaylin. Good luck.